Okay, let's talk about positive psychology for permanent change. And in this lesson, I'm basically going to introduce these ideas to you because we don't have time to cover everything in this short course workshop, but I can show you where to go to find out a lot more about the topic of positive psychology. If you type positive psychology into your Google search engine, you'll find so many awesome websites, but I'll tell you more in just a second. What is positive psychology, first of all? It is considered to be all of these things that are listed here, and this is an image that I borrowed from the father of positive psychology, who I'll introduce you to on the next slide. But it's positive emotions, engagement with your world, positive relationships, meaning or purpose, and accomplishment. So an easy way of thinking about a new theory of well-being is PERMA. And like I've said to you before, I'm very intentional in the life that I am creating. What I mean by intentional is exactly this. I focus primarily on positive emotions, but I do work on feeling my negative emotions too. But I'm positive 99% of the time, unless something necessitates a negative emotion that's really going on in my world. Engagement, I'm highly engaged in my work. I'm highly engaged in my family. I'm engaged in my community and with my friendships, which gives me positive relationships. I have deep meaning in my life. This stuff that I'm telling you about is very important to me. My work gives me great purpose. I absolutely love doing it. I would do it all day, every day if I didn't have the engagement with my family and the rest of my life, which gives me a sense of accomplishment. When I make these videos for you and I put them out there and I've shared something with one person, it really excites me. I did a presentation, a live workshop a few weeks ago, and a person came up to me afterwards and told me that one of the things that I shared in that workshop was a life changer for him. And he was crying and hugged me. That is an accomplishment. That gives me meaning and engagement. It's amazing. So I want each and every one of you to have that in your life. And it starts with this: character strengths, forgiveness, kindness, gratitude, creativity, curiosity. Hopefully you have these things. If not, that's a great starting point. I work on all of them. If something happens to me and somebody wrongs me, I work on forgiving them. I've forgiven everybody for everything they've done to me. And there's been some big things and that people haven't even cared that they've done them to me. And I've forgiven them anyways. That's about me, not about them. These are character strengths. I'm kind to everybody. I have incredible gratitude for everything in my life. I love to be creative and curious. So let's start there by, brewing up some of that. Meaning and purpose, we've already talked about. There's a great book and TED Talk on YouTube by Simon Sinek, Start With Why. So watch that. You have to start with your purpose and everything else will fall out from there. Happiness, positive emotions and well-being, emotional and social intelligence. I'm working on that one right now. I'm working on trying to be more emotionally mature, especially as I raise my kids and navigate my relationship with the hubs. Flow and mindfulness. I can't wait to share this with you. It's one of my favorite topics. Wisdom, hope and optimism, positive relationships, authenticity. I try to be who I actually am in there. I try to make sure the person I'm reflecting out into the world is the same person that I am when I'm in my kitchen with my friends and family. We are the same person. There's not an image I portray and then I'm different at home. If you accidentally recorded me while I was just chatting in the kitchen, it sounds like this. I talk like this. This is who I am. I'm trying to raise my children to be the same thing. And many of our friends and people in our community have complimented my husband and I for how we are allowing our children to become who they are. So my oldest daughter has pink hair right now. You know how that goes. It's a fashion trend. My middle daughter is an actress. She does theater-y things. My oldest son is a Boy Scout. He's going to be an Eagle Scout. My younger son has long skater hair and he is a comedian. They're all different human beings. I want them to be the best version of themselves. I'm not trying to make them all look like copycat versions of the hubs and I. And it takes a lot of strength to do that because when they come out with pink hair, they come out with something I don't want them to wear, I have a filter I've been using for years. I try to treat my children like past Trish. Like I wish that I was treated when I was young. I wish I would have had my authentic self fostered, because I didn't really. I had an ideal fostered. And then I treat my parents like future me. So I try to treat them like I would like my children to treat me in the future. And it's a really good filter to help me stay in integrity to what I'm trying to create, authenticity in my children. And of course, love and respect for my parents. Because you know how that goes when they want to come over for 4 hours and I don't want them to. You know what? If I wanted to make a 4-hour visit, I need to be, when I'm older, I want my kids to be able to set boundaries, but let me come, and I'm working on that. Okay, humor. There's a little humor for you. And resilience, being able to stand back up and get back in the ring again, if you know what I mean. Okay, so why positive thinking? This is the father of positive psychology. His name is Martin Seligman. He is out of the University of Pennsylvania. So if you search positive psychology, Seligman, or University of Pennsylvania, there's tons of information on those websites. There's also a website in The Pursuit of Happiness that has a lot of great information for you. And on Martin Seligman's website at University of Pennsylvania, you can take tests to show how authentically happy you are and find areas that you might be able to, if you're willing to work on to increase your authentic happiness. But research has shown that positive emotions and interventions can bolster health, achievement, and resilience, and buffer against depression and anxiety. So why positive thinking? Why not? If it's going to make you healthier, achieve more, and become more resilient so you can handle life with ease, and it's also going to make it so that you're less likely to get anxiety and depression, let's do this thing. It's a no-brainer, pun intended, humor intended, right? So it's using your mind to improve your brain performance pattern. It becomes a positive feedback loop. So our minds and our bodies, I told you at the beginning of this workshop that your brain controls your mind and your body, but that it's a two-way street. And I talk specifically about the body, about how the body feeds the information back up from the body to the brain, and then the brain down to the body, and we have two-way street. It's the same thing with your mind and your thoughts. So if your thoughts are negative, guess what it's doing? It is creating the high beta pattern and the delta pattern. It's creating the pattern of anxiety, the pattern of burnout, the pattern of depression. They're linked. Brain performance patterns and the things that are listed here, health, achievement, resilience, anxiety, and depression, are linked. So the more you use the calm focus pattern in the middle, the more likely you are to be healthier, because cells are literally healthier when the electrical energy is flowing properly in your system. You can achieve more because you're in the zone. You're resilient because you're not going to react, you're going to respond, and you're not going to become overwhelmed and completely shut down. Your baseline is lower. You got this thing, resilience. And it will lead you away from anxiety and depression. So the components are happiness, and I'm going to show you what's in happiness, optimism, and grit. So let's look at them. Okay, up next, authentic happiness. Meet me in the next lesson and we'll break it down.